Good morning, everyone. Good morning, बच्चों. I hope I am audible and visible to you all. Yes? Okay. So back to the class. I'm just hoping that today's class goes unglitched without any problem. Yes, Vijay, even I am hoping that कि आज की क्लास बिना किसी नेटवर्क इशू के हो जाए. Just the same thing running in my mind. So, chalo, let's quickly talk about the remaining topics of gynecology. And in the remaining topics of gynecology, I have to cover your vaginitis. Vaginitis पे questions आते हैं. And then cancer cervix पे कुछ questions which are likely to come, which includes HPV vaccines, right? And cancer ovary थोड़ा सा. So these are the topics which I intend to cover in gynecology, जहाँ से questions आते हैं, right? So yesterday we were talking about the pH of vagina, and I was telling you that in vagina there are inhabitant bacteria which are called as the Doddeline bacilli. These Doddeline bacilli are lactobacilli and they convert the glucose, the glycogen which is present in vaginal epithelium into lactic acid, right? And that is why the pH of vagina is acidic. Now, when do the Doddeline bacilli appear? They appear at the time of puberty. And when do they disappear? They disappear at the time of menopause. And that is why in childhood, the pH of vagina is alkaline. And when a female attains puberty, then because the Doddeline bacilli are going to appear, so from alkaline, it changes into acidic. And in reproductive age females, it becomes somewhere between 4 to 4.5. During pregnancy, the Doddeline bacilli will increase, and so there will be increased conversion of glycogen into lactic acid, and so pH of vagina decreases. Please understand, ये body का अपना natural defense mechanism है against infections. अगर pregnancy में infections होते हैं तो they lead to preterm labor, and that is why body का अपना defense mechanism है कि बॉडी क्या करती है, डॉडलिन बेसिलाई, विजाइना में डॉडलिन बेसिलाई को इंक्रीज करती है ताकि विजाइना की एसिडिक पीएच हो जाए, और ज्यादा एसिडिक पीएच हो जाए. एंड वी ऑल नो that microorganisms, they find it so difficult to survive an acidic media, right? So that is why in pregnancy the chances of infections are less, right? Then comes menopause. Menopause में डॉडलिन बेसिलाई disappear होंगे तो pH again it will become 6 to 8, right? And then during menstruation के time पे blood is alkaline, and that is why again the pH of vagina becomes alkaline, that is somewhere around 6 to 8, right? Now please understand, vagina has no glands of its own. So when I say vagina has no glands of its own, from where does the vaginal discharge come? Vaginal discharge basically comes from cervical glands, right? Now, in vaginal discharge, please understand that vaginal discharge can be physiological or it can be pathological. So, vaginal discharge, it could be physiological or it could be pathological discharge. In pathological discharge, we have discharge which happens due to vaginitis. So, vaginal discharge characteristics. We have 3 vaginal discharges which you need to know. So you should know the physiological discharge, which is leukorrhea. Then we have candida discharge. Then we have trichomonas discharge. And we have bacterial vaginosis discharge. Right? Okay. Now, first of all, the color of the discharge. In case of leukorrhea, the discharge is colorless, or you can say it is white. Candida may you get cottage cheese like discharge. cottage cheese discharge. What is cottage cheese discharge? That is फटे हुए दूध जैसा discharge, right? Curdy white discharge भी कहते हैं उसको. Curdy white discharge, right? In Trichomonas, you get yellowish green discharge. And a term will be used that is frothy. Frothy discharge, which is yellowish green in color, right? And in bacterial vaginosis, what type of discharge you get? It is dirty white discharge. Then comes the smell, the odor of the discharge. Physiological discharge is odorless, right? In candidiasis, again, there is foul smell. Trichomonas is foul smelling discharge, whereas bacterial vaginosis, again, it's a foul smelling discharge. Typically, जिसको कहते हैं fishy odor. Typically, it has a fishy odor, right? Then we have pH of the discharge. pH of discharge. Please understand, only it is candida which can survive in acidic media, right? So only in candidiasis, the pH is going to be less than 4.5. In every other case, pH is going to be more than equal to 4.5. Then next, are you going to get pruritus? Is itching going to be present? Never are you going to get itching in leukorrhea, and never do you get itching in bacterial vaginosis. In candida, patient ki main complaint is intense itching. And yes, itching is also present in trichomonas. Along with pruritus, you are going to get dysuria, pain at the time of urination. It is not seen in case of physiological discharge. It is not seen in case of bacterial vaginosis. In case of candida, yes, there is excessive pain at the time of urination, and it is called as splash dysuria. And dysuria is also present in trichomonas discharge. Then comes whiff test. Whiff test. What is whiff test? Whiff test is when you add 10% potassium hydroxide to the discharge, you have to get a fishy odor. So this is not present anywhere except bacterial vaginosis. In trichomonas, whiff test may be plus minus. In bacterial vaginosis, always you are going to get whiff test positive. Then on per speculum examination, in case of physiological discharge, I will get nothing. In case of candidiasis, I am going to get curdy white discharge. In case of trichomonas, I will get strawberry cervix. I'll just now show you what is a strawberry cervix. Yeah, a strawberry vagina. In case of bacterial vaginosis, you are going to get nothing. Then comes investigation of choice. Investigation of choice. Investigation of choice in case of vaginitis is saline microscopy. Saline microscopy, right? In case of physiological discharge, nothing. In case of candida, you are going to see the pseudo hyphae. In case of trichomonas, you will see something moving. Why? Because trichomonas is a flagellated protozoa. So some motility is seen. Right? Then in case of bacterial vaginosis, you get clue cells. What are clue cells? Just now I'll show you the image and I'll show you what are clue cells. But remember, in bacterial vaginosis, you are getting clue cells, right? Then comes your gold standard investigation. Gold standard investigation. Obviously, in physiological, there is no gold standard. In case of Trichomonas and Candida, this is, what is the gold standard? What are you going to do for gold standard investigation? Tell me. Culture. Culture is the gold standard in case of Trichomonas and in case of Candidiasis. In case of bacterial vaginosis, you have to do gram staining. And in gram staining, you have to calculate the Nugent score. Then I forgot to tell you what are the organism. Which organism leads to this? Now, in case of candidiasis, the organism is Candida albicans. Candida albicans is a fungus. Right? In case of Trichomonas, it is Trichomonas vaginalis. Which is a flagellated protozoa. Which is a flagellated protozoa. In bacterial vaginosis, there is alteration of vaginal flora. There is alteration in vaginal flora. What do you mean by that? It's not that there is any inflammation in bacterial vaginosis. In bacterial vaginosis, the Dodeline bacilli are replaced. The Dodeline bacilli are replaced by Gardnerella. Dodeline bacilli are replaced by Gardnerella, right? Then, next important thing is about the treatment. So when we are talking about treatment, we have to talk about drug of choice in non-pregnant females, drug of choice in pregnant females. Is it a sexually transmitted disease, right, or not? And whether partner treatment is required or not. Under these 4 headings, we have to complete this. So, what is the drug of choice in non-pregnant females? What's the drug of choice in non-pregnant females? For Candida, it's fluconazole. It's oral fluconazole. What is the drug of choice in pregnancy for Candida? It's topical imidazoles like clotrimazole. Is it a sexually transmitted disease? No. Partner treatment required only if partner is symptomatic. Required only if partner is asymptomatic. Sorry, partner is symptomatic. Right? Coming to Trichomonas. Drug of choice, metronidazole. In pregnancy, metronidazole except first trimester. In first trimester, it is not metronidazole. So first trimester, otherwise treatment is metronidazole except first trimester. Now, is it an STD? Yes. Is partner treatment required? Yes. In Trichomonas, you have to give partner treatment. Coming to bacterial vaginosis. In bacterial vaginosis, again, the drug of choice is metronidazole. In pregnancy, it is metronidazole. Is it a sexually transmitted disease? Never. Do you give partner treatment? Never. Right? So please understand that in case of bacterial vaginosis, we have metronidazole as the drug of choice. In Trichomonas, we have metronidazole as the drug of choice. In Candida, we have fluconazole as the drug of choice. So now we have syndromic management kit. National AIDS Control Organization advised that there should be a syndromic management kit for vaginitis. Why? See, vaginitis की diagnosis जब तक आएगी हम पेशेंट को metronidazole and fluconazole start कर देते हैं. But metronidazole is expensive, so Government of India has not included metronidazole in the kit. For syndromic management of vaginitis, the kit which you have to use is kit number 2. The color of the kit is green. How are you going to remember that it is green? Because one of the very important vaginitis is Trichomonas vaginitis, and in Trichomonas vaginitis, the color of the discharge is yellowish or green in color. So kit number 2, that is for bacterial vaginitis is green in color. And what are the drugs which are present here? What drugs are present here? Here government has included fluconazole and secnidazole. Now, when you are giving syndromic management kit, partner treatment not needed. Partner's treatment is not required, right? So now let me show you what is strawberry vagina and what is Klucel. Here. This is how strawberry vagina looks like, right? And this is how a clue cell looks like. A clue cell is a normal epithelial cell to which multiple bacteria are adhered. So this is how a clue cell is going to look like. There will be epithelial cells to which bacteria are adhered. That is what is called as clue cells. Now, I said that it is green in color. Why it is green in color? Why it is green in color? The kit number 2. Kit number 2 is green in color. Because, and how I told you to remember, because the discharge of Trichomonas is yellowish green. So that is how I just told you to remember it. This is just a way by which you can remember it, right? So that completes your vaginitis. Many questions are being asked these days on vaginitis. Clear? Now with this, let us talk about the kits which are available for PID and kits which are available for cervicitis. Okay? Is that clear to all of you? Any confusion? Any confusion, beta? Yeah. There was something wrong which was happening. I thought the net is going. Now, when we are talking about kit for cervicitis, we are presuming that cervix has got some lesion that could be in the form of ulcer, that could be in the form of growth. And from that area, I'm going to take a biopsy, which is called as, from that area, I'm going to see that whether infection is present or not, right? Now, whenever we are talking for kit for cervicitis, the color of the kit and the number of the kit. Number of the kit is 1. Color of the kit is grey colored. Number 1, grey colored. ठीक है? Okay. Amsel's criteria generally पूछा नहीं जाता है. Amsel's criteria is really connection back. ओके, स्क्रीन को चेक करें. Yeah, so chalo, we are back, thank God. Right. Okay. Next comes kit for PID. Kit for PID, right? Now, when we are talking kit for PID, what is the color of the kit? Pus is yellow in color, so color of the kit is yellow. What is the number of the kit? Number of the kit is 6. So yellow colored kit and kit number is 6 whenever you have to give a kit for PID. Okay? Clear? Now, in PID, I want all of you to know what is PID. I know you know it is pelvic inflammatory disease. What is pelvic inflammatory disease? So, whenever there is inflammation of endometrium, that is, there is endometritis, then there is salpingitis, then there is oophorytis, plus blood is going to come in pouch of Douglas. So there is peritonitis. When there is a combination of all of them, that is, it is infection and inflammation of upper female genital tract. Upper female genital tract. Right? So it is infection and inflammation of upper female genital tract. Now, please understand that PID, what if they ask you what is the most common cause of PID? Most common cause of PID. So most common cause का मतलब है which is the most common infection leading to PID. Most common organism involved in PID. Excellent. The answer is chlamydia. If chlamydia is not given, then gonorrhea. Next question. What is the most common organism involved in acute PID? In acute PID, it is gonorrhea. Right? Next important question. What is the most common organism involved in PID in IUCD users? In IUCD users, it is actinomyces. Right? Actinomyces. That's the most common PID in IUCD users. What is the most common organism causing PID in menopausal females? Most common PID found in menopausal females. Tell me quickly which is the most common PID which leads to, what is that most common organism which leads to PID in menopausal females? All of you are giving the right answers and the answer is what? E. coli. What's the answer? Answer is E. coli. ठीक है बेटा? So most common organism is E. coli. ठीक है? Now, as I told you, these days we are going for syndromic management. We are not doing anything, treating PID individually, first trying to find the cause and then treating it individually. We don't do that. These days we are going for syndromic management kits, which says that there is no need for you to, you know, no need for you to do any